Well, good day, folks. NBWildman back here again with you. And on today's episode, I'm going to show you another great setup to take all kinds of mink and raccoon. This is another variation of my bridge set. So here I am under a bridge. Just a main, not a main road, but just like a regular road goes over top here, and just a regular 2-lane highway. Nothing much to it, just a backcountry road. And as you can see, we're kind of down underneath here. Water's a little low right now, so it's pretty good. The water does fluctuate, but the setup I'm going to show you is really quick and easy, no matter what the water level is in your area. So if you're worried about, high water, low water, things like that, I wouldn't worry about it for this type of set. Great set, again, for raccoon and mink. Listen, if you haven't yet subscribed to the NBWildman channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell so that you get notified when we upload new content. As always, we're looking for feedback, questions, comments, whatever you got, go ahead and put those down below, and we'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. So this setup is real quick and easy, just a simple leg trap, like a pan trap. Just make sure that you check your laws for your state or your province to figure out what's legal in your area, whether it has to be on the drown and set or whether it doesn't, or whether it can be wide open or whatever. It's up to you to check that stuff. I'm just showing you what I do here, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be right or legal where you are, so make sure you check out your game laws before you go ahead and set these things up. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to kind of show you what this looks like, and I'm going to show you the setup. Okay, so as you can see, we're down here under this bridge, and this bridge is pretty standard for what we would have here. You've got timber and iron construction, and then typically there's some type of structure. You can kind of get down underneath it. In this case, there's actually quite a little bit of sand and stone along, from where the water is up to this. Now, I'm sure in the springtime, this is all high water up in through here, but we're not going to worry about that. What you'll notice is that in every place, or at least where I am, in every place where the bridge meets the bank, there seems to be an area where the timber stops and then the ground actually starts. And in this case, there's quite a little steep bank here, and you got to kind of take that trail to get around. You'll see right where that happens, right where the bridge kind of meets the bank, you'll see that there's always game tracks. Now, if you look right here, I would say that's a raccoon track right there, if I was just guessing. And I'd say back up a little bit, and there's a smaller mink track. That looks like a mink track right there. So there's definitely been mink and raccoon here in this area. And what you're going to look for, what you want to look for, is that little hole right there. Okay, so somewhere, almost always, where your bridge meets the bank, you'll find a little rock or you'll find a little spot where there's a little cubby hole. I will guarantee you that 90% or more of the animals, raccoon, mink, muskrat, whatever, that passes down this brook, okay, that goes down this bank, they're going to stop and they're going to check out all the little holes. You don't need to bait these sets. Now you can, if you want to. If you can decide on your favorite bait for your mink or your raccoon, depending on what you're going to target. And listen, if you haven't yet seen my bait videos on my best paste bait for raccoons, go ahead and check out that link. I'll put it up here in the corner. But it's a great one, and it works really, really well. I use it on all my pipe sets. So if I mention in videos that you haven't yet seen on the NBWildman channel, go ahead and check those out. There's all kinds of them. Different setups and different things we use. So I'm going to set my trap right in here, and then I'm going to put it on a drown wire, which is going to stretch out about 4 or 5 feet here, and then the water's plenty deep here to attach it to a cable, so that here we need them on a drowning rig. So I'll set that up, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so here's my little hole that I've found, and again, I don't usually bait these sets. A lot of these are blind sets for me. One of the reasons I don't bait these is because I don't want to. I want to make sure I target pretty much just my raccoon and my mink. I guess it just kind of depends on how much I want to skin, whether I bait them. If you bait them, they're going to be full all the time. But anyway, so basically, I'm just using a real small pan trap. Okay, a little double spring and a little coil trap. So I use a lot of these, this size trap. I think these are 1s yeah, these are number 10s. These are Dukes. But they're real small, great for mink, great for raccoon, lots of holding power. Okay, just going to put this in on a slide wire. I don't change the landscape hardly at all here. I really want to kind of leave all the grass the way it is and everything the way it is. I don't want to dig this out and make a big scene. I just want to leave it the way it is. The only thing that's important is that you're able to get this trap down flat. You want to make sure that no matter what you do here, you can bed your, and you don't even have to bed it. You can I just want to make sure it's sitting flat on the ground, okay? So all you're going to do is set this baby up. Okay, just going to set it. Put it right in here. And you're just going to make sure it's nice and flat, just about like that. Okay? And that's actually all that you need to do. As far as I'm concerned, that right there is set. You don't have to bury it. You don't have to hide it. Mink and raccoon are not overly particular about, it being hidden. It's not like you're trying to trap a coyote here. So I can leave that right out exposed like that. Of course, make sure you're not near anybody's, make sure you're legal distance from houses and pets and all that stuff. But out here in the middle of nowhere, we don't have that problem. So now you can, if you want to, if you feel the need to put a little bit of bedding on here, if you just think that's really exposed and it's kind of too much out in the open, then all I do is grab something really natural from close at hand, just a clump of old grass or just anything at all, okay? Just a little bit of old kind of weeds from kicking around, and I just really lightly scatter it around a little bit. That's all, just enough to mask the outline of the trap. I do that as much for passers-by possibly as anything, but that's enough right there. And then that's completely done. A little bit of paste bait at the back if you want, but again, most things in this area are going to check out that little hole looking for food, and then they're going to be in that trap. Then all I do next is I've got some of these rebar stakes made. This is just 1/2-inch rebar, 2 feet long, with a little piece, this little 6-inch piece welded at the top, just a T-stake. And I'm gonna drive that out into the water, down deep enough so that whatever catches this will run the wire out, and then as it gets down in, it works as a drowning rig. So I'll do that next. So that part's done. Now all I have to do is connect the wire on the slide to the drowning rig, and I'm all set. Okay, so that's basically the setup. Pretty easy. There it is right there. Okay, nice and simple. And then you've got your rebar stake out there in the water. Right, you get your rebar stake down there just far enough so that they're down there so that they're going to drown. Okay. Well, that's it, folks. Pretty quick and easy set for right down here. And again, I put one of these on each side of the road. So one on each side of the bridge on opposite corners, right? So quick and easy to check. Most times you just got to kind of glance over the bridge. You can kind of look from the top down and see if your trap's gone or if it's in the water or whatever. And they're real simple. You can kind of set as many of these as you want. And they're great, again, for mink, and they're great for raccoon out on your line. Again, you can bait it or not, just depends on kind of what you want to do. It never hurts to put a little paste bait in there, just to have that added scent as they're cruising down along. But most times, mink and raccoons are going to check out all those little pockets and crevices looking for food of their own. So anyway, hope you can use this set. Hope it helps you out on your line, catching more mink, catching more raccoons. And until next time, happy hunting from the NBWildman channel.